The Child and Adult Care Food Program can be an important resource to emergency shelters that provide residential and food services to children experiencing homelessness. Any facility whose primary purpose is to provide temporary shelter to homeless families with children is eligible to participate in CACFP. In most cases, an eligible shelter is one that combines overnight facilities with day programs, such as congregate meal services for homeless children and their parents or guardians. These facilities could be family shelters, domestic violence shelters, day shelters if children are residents of an overnight shelter, and residential child care institutions, RCCI, that serve a distinct group of homeless children who are not enrolled in the RCCI school program. An emergency shelter can participate as an independent institution which makes an agreement directly with the state agency, or as a sponsoring organization of one or more shelter facilities. Emergency shelters can only be operated by one of the two types of institutions: a public entity, which could be a municipal, county, state, or a federal government agency, or a nonprofit institution, a federally tax-exempt institution under Title C3 of the Internal Revenue Code. An emergency shelter must operate a nonprofit food program. Any reimbursement funds in the excess of food services expenses must be used to improve or expand the nonprofit food program. Emergency shelters are not required to be licensed for childcare. The shelter, however, must have proper permit or certificates to show that health, sanitation, fire, and safety codes have been met. Who is eligible for the CACFP meals at emergency shelters? Children birth through age 18 or residents of any age with disabilities as defined by the state who reside in emergency shelters providing services to children are automatically eligible for free nutritious meals. Adult family member meals are not reimbursable with CACFP. Meal reimbursement basics. Emergency shelters receive the highest rates of payment for serving meals which meet the USDA meal pattern guidelines. All reimbursable meals are served in group settings at no cost to the child or to the child's family. The reimbursement rates are updated annually, typically on or around July 1st, and can be found on the MDE CACFP website under About Us. What meals are reimbursable? Emergency shelters can claim 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and supper, but could also claim 2 meals and 1 snack, or 2 snacks and 1 meal per child per day. For the meals and snacks to be reimbursable, they must meet the CACFP meal pattern requirements. Breakfast must include milk, vegetables, fruits, or portions of both, and a grain. For menu planning flexibility, you can substitute a meat or meat alternate for the grain up to 3 times per week. Lunch and supper must include milk, a meat or meat alternate, a vegetable, fruit, or another different vegetable, and a grain. Snacks must include food items from 2 different meal component groups from the 5 meal component groups: milk, meat and meat alternate, vegetable, fruit, and grain. Meals and snacks served to infants birth through age 11 months must meet the CACFP infant meal pattern requirements. Meals served to disabled adults must meet the CACFP adult meal pattern requirements. Meals served to children and disabled adults must be consumed on-site in group settings. Infants can be served meals in private quarters. While this video gives an idea of which components are required for reimbursable meals and snacks, please see our website for more information on meal patterns, including additional videos on the CACFP meal pattern and infant meals. Record keeping is an essential part of any USDA child nutrition program. Records must be kept for 3 years plus the current fiscal year. For record keeping, shelters must certify their MEGS Plus application annually to ensure shelter site and contact information is up to date. Maintain documentation that all staff are trained annually on civil rights, like dated agendas, materials, and sign-in sheets with full names. Maintain documentation that all staff are trained annually on the CACFP record-keeping requirements. Again, this is dated agendas, materials, and sign-in sheets with full names. And all staff are to be trained on the civil rights and CACFP before assuming their CACFP duties. Maintain documentation of all new staff trainings with your annual records. For all eligible children and adults participating in the meals and snacks that will be claimed in CACFP, you will need proof of residency in an emergency shelter, name, date of birth, period of residency, dated daily shelter attendance records by name or coded ID numbers used for confidentiality, dated daily meal counts taken at the point of service at the time the meal is served, listing the meal type claimed, breakfast, lunch, supper, or snack. Daily dated infant menu records, 0 to 5 months or 6 to 11 months. Daily dated menus for meals served to eligible participants. Maintain documentation of food service operating costs, including administrative and food service labor. Maintain a dated donated food log of foods used in the nonprofit food program and document any food and non-food costs you may have. This list of record-keeping tasks is not all-inclusive. Please contact MDE with any other questions related to your specific program.